subscribe, it's a vibe, ayy. Come subscribe it all the time, it's a vibe, ayy.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to my new subscribers and welcome back to those who are already been here. This your girl Keyshawn Ray and I'm back with another video. I'm coming at y'all with a car story time once again. So we're gonna get right into it. But before we do, make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that y'all hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I post. And I do apologize for such a delay in videos, y'all. I had lost in my family and just did not want to get behind the camera. I didn't want to bring the sadness and all that stuff onto the camera or whatever. So I had to take a break and take some time to be there with my family or whatever. But it has been a month now since that has happened. So I'm ready to go ahead and get back on YouTube, get back on the camera, and give y'all some more of my messy, embarrassing story time. So let's get right into this video. Okay, y'all. So this is the story about the time that I was talking to this guy, and he tried to spit in my mouth. I mean, is that what y'all into? Is that what y'all into? Because if that's what y'all are into, like, y'all can keep that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't care who it's from. I don't need that. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get right into the story. I had met this guy when I was 10 years old, okay? He's 5 years older than me, so he was 15 at the time, for those of y'all who don't know how to do math, okay? So, he was 5 years older than me, and I grew up in church or whatever. So, for those who grew up in church, you know that sometimes your church, you go visit another church, or another church come visit your church, or whatever like that. Things like that happen. So he went to one of the churches that we visited all the time. So it kind of like a brother-sister church or whatever. Like, not brother-sister. I don't know how to explain it to y'all. Those who went to church, those who grew up in church know what I'm talking about. This is a church. We call it a brother-sister church because that's a church that we visited, or they visited us often. He wasn't paying me no mind, my little 10-year-old self, honey. I ain't have no boobies, no butt, no nothing. I was just a 10-year-old girl, probably bald-headed. Who knows, honey? He was not looking at me, but he was so fine. All of my little friends at church, honey, we all had a little crush on him because he was just so fine. He was just light-skinned. He always was smiling. He just looked so good. Hair was just as luscious. I mean, he was just fine. And the thing is that he knew us or whatever, because like I said, we was all, brother, sister churches or whatever. So we saw each other all the time. But he knew he was fine. He did. And he probably knew that we all had a crush on him. But at the end of the day, he's 15 and we're 10, 11. So, like, he not paying us no mind at all. So, anyway, every time he would come around, we all would just be blushing and shit all the time because we were just, oh my God, just to go back to y'all being 10 years old and think about how you used to get butterflies in your stomach and stuff because you would see a guy that you were interested in or whatnot. Like, that's how I felt about him. So, we're going to call him Rodney. So, when Rodney would come around, I would always be like, oh my gosh, Rodney's so cute, this, that, and the third, but I would never talk to him. Never talked to him, though. Never talked to him. But he knew me, I knew him, I knew his name, he knew my name, or whatever. But it was never nothing else. We didn't have no conversations or nothing like that. He was cool with my cousins and stuff, and he was cool with the guys that went to our church, and the guys at our church, cool, all of them. It was just what it was. So, time goes on. Of course, I'm not ever thinking that me and Rodney ever going to talk or anything because at the end of the day, like I said, I'm 10 years old, he's 15. Never in my life did I ever think that we would cross paths and it would ever be anything. But, was I wrong? Was I wrong? After me and Snoopy had broken up, which I mentioned him to y'all in my story times about him ghosting me or whatever, Snoopy broke up with me or whatever. So I was really in my bag heavily. I was in my bag. I was hurt. I was depressed. I was all of that. At the time I was working at McDonald's and everything. And it was just what it was. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get my money, go home and cry, and then get back up the next day and go make my money and then cry again when I get home. Like, that's just what I was doing. I was so upset that this man just disappeared and left me alone. No explanation. No nothing. Sorry, y'all. I'm in the drive-thru taking orders and taking money and stuff like that. This car pulls up and it's Rodney, right? So, of course, the little girl in me just starts getting like, like, this is Rodney, like, whatever. So, y'all see how I'm grinning right now? It was harder then. Okay. So it's harder then, so I'm grinning real hard or whatever, because I'm like, okay, Rodney is like literally in my face. So then he got the nerve to be gonna pull that smile out on me, and he was like, what's up? Like, I ain't seen you in a long time. This, that, the 30, second, the third. I'm like, yeah, it's been a long time. Like, I'm 19 now. How old are you? No, I'm 24. Like, does 24 look good on you? Talking to Jothy, mind you, I'm like, what do you want from me? Because you're holding up my line, sir. Like, I'm at work or whatever. So he was like, well, before you hand me my receipt, can you put your number on it? I was like, okay. So I put my number on the receipt, hand it to him, and then he pulls off. And I was like, I cannot believe that Rodney just asked me for my phone number. So guess what? I called all my friends. Girl, guess what? Guess who? Okay, like, that's what I was doing. I was so hyped, y'all. I was so hyped. I don't remember exactly when that happened. I just know it was cold outside. So it had to been like, it was in December, because his birthday was about to come up. So it was in December. So we were just texting and stuff at that point, but we never met up and never hung out or nothing like that until this one particular day. Like I said, grew up in church or whatever. Yes, I'm 19, and I did slack off from going to church. Like, once I left my mom's house, I was like, I don't want to go to church, honey, if I don't want to, this, and the third. But I was like, I'm going to go ahead and go to church this night because it was bringing in the new year or whatever. So I went ahead and went to church that night. And my sister, she worked overnight. She was working overnight at that time. And then my best friend, Angry, she was in DC, I believe, with her family about to bring her the new year or whatever. So I was home by myself, because at that time we had our own apartment. We were sharing an apartment. So I was home by myself, and I went ahead and went to, we called it watch night or whatever. Went to watch night. So once 12 a.m. hit or whatever, we all was like, Happy New Year, this and the third. You got them niggas that you ain't talked to all year long, the one that text you like, Happy New Year. Nah, niggas, stay back. I believe this was 2014. Stay back in 2013 or whatever year we in, honey. Stay there. Okay, don't try to text me on New Year talking about Happy New Year, boo. Hope I get to see a little bit more of you this year. Don't hit me with that. I get home and I get settled or whatever. I take me a shower. I change to my night clothes. I'm chilling. And I put on a movie. I believe I was watching Rush Hour. Why? I don't know. But anyway, I was watching Rush Hour, and Rodney ended up texting me and was like, hey, you up? And I was like, yeah, I'm up or whatever. I just left church or whatever. We had watch night. He was like, yeah, same here or whatever. I was like, okay, cool. He was like, well, are you busy? Are you doing anything? And I was like, no, I'm not doing nothing. And he was like, well, you mind if I slide through? Mind you, I'm getting butterflies because what? Like, you really want to hang with me? Like, that's how I felt. Like, I'm like, okay. This is it. This is the real deal, girl. Stop being weird. Calm down. You've done this before. You can handle this. Relax. Like, that's what I'm trying to give myself a pep talk. Like, because just imagine a guy that you had a crush on since you were a little girl, and y'all never talked or nothing, never thought he would be interested in you ever, and then just one day, ended up, he was like, do you drink? And I was like, I'm not a drinker. I will drink wine every once in a while, but I'm definitely not a drinker. Like, I don't drink liquor and stuff like that. Like, you might see me take a shot and stuff if it's at a party, just gonna try and fit in with my cousins and shit, because they be like, girl, you is too old to be acting like you scared of a shot. Just take it. I cry every time. So that's what ended up happening. I was like, yeah, you could bring some wine or whatever. So he brought some wine over, and he came over, whatever. And I'm really nervous. Okay, I'm really nervous. So anyway, when he comes over, we're sitting on the couch and we're watching Rush Hour. So he's like, oh, this is my favorite movie or whatever. I was like, oh, for real? I think he was lying now that I'm thinking about it. I believe he was lying, because like, how am I randomly putting on your favorite movie? Like, stop. You're trying to gaslight me. Sir. So I was like, oh, for real, this your favorite movie or whatever? He was like, yeah, it's my favorite movie, this and the third or whatever. So, okay, cool. We're watching TV. We're not really talking because I'm nervous as fuck. So we're not really talking that much. Sorry, I got my door open. Like I said, I'm nervous, so I'm not really talking much or whatever. And so he goes and he says, like, why you sitting so far away from me? And I'm like, oh, I didn't notice I was far. I didn't notice I was too far or whatever. And he was like, well, scoot over a little closer to me or whatever. So I'm like, well, how about you meet me in the middle? So we scooch. Now we're in the middle or whatever. And we're still watching the movie. So now at this point, you know, I'm like getting a little nervous now because I'm like, what's about to happen, right? So he starts feeling on my thighs and my crevices and all that good stuff. He's touching all over me. So I'm like, oh my God, is this really about to be it? Like, am I really about to get the D from my childhood crush? Is that what's about to happen? Is that what's about to happen? And yeah, that's what was about to happen. That's what happened. That's what happened. So he on the couch, and then he starts pulling down my pants and stuff, and I'm like, oh snap, like, girl, and I'm trying to keep my grown woman face on, but in reality, I'm screaming in my head like, goodness gracious, it's about to go down. It's about to go down, and I'm here for the whole thing. So he started pulling my pants down, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then he proceeds to eat his supper. He starts eating supper, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, I was not expecting that, but do you, brother? Do you? So he's doing it, and I mean, he's doing it. He having a good time down there. I'm having a good time because I'm like, I can't believe that this is what's going on with me today. Like, I cannot believe that this is what's going on. So he's doing that. And then he was like, let's take this upstairs. I was like, okay, cool. So I take him upstairs to my room. And then, you know, everything finishes out there or whatever. And we do what we do. Boom. He ends up leaving. And I end up going to sleep. Mind you, y'all, it had to be what it was because I never go. When I'm at home by myself, I don't go to sleep because I be scared. Do you understand? I don't go to sleep when I was home, like back then. Now I do. But when it was just me at the house and my sister be gone, my friend be gone, and it was just me, I would not go to sleep. I would not go to sleep. All the lights would be on. The electric bill be high as hell. Everything be on. All the TVs be on. I do not like being home by myself. So for me to go to sleep after this man left, okay. After that, we're texting every day now. Now we're texting every day. We're talking every day. And it became a regular thing for him to come to the house every weekend. So at first, he didn't really want to come around like that because my little sister, like I said, she was 9 at the time and I was 10. But we all was like, oh, he's fine. So he didn't want it to be like weird that me and him was talking and dealing with each other at this point. So she was like, nigga, like, what? We don't care about that. Like, we all like your ass. Like, it don't matter. Like, we grown now. If you like her, she like you. Do what the fuck y'all doing. Like, what the fuck? We don't give a fuck. So that's what it was. So he started coming over every weekend. He started bringing his friends over. Every weekend we had to turn up. We was doing it not doing it every weekend, but, I mean, we was doing it every weekend, but we had turn up every weekend. Like, everybody came to the house every weekend. We didn't have no kids at the time. We didn't have no boyfriends. Like, we was all just 18, 19. And we got these 24-year-old niggas trying to chill with us and shit. So, I mean, we living the life at this point. We having a good time. They always bring us snacks. They bring in drinks. They bring in all types of stuff, which I want to eat. Like, you know, we was living our life. We was having a good time. So, I was very happy. I was pleased. It was what it was. So, like I said, Rodney used to come over every weekend. And we used to get down every weekend. And I was so happy because I was like, I am, like, really enjoying myself. Like, I mean, just imagine. I mean, you're my childhood crush, and you're giving me everything that I've asked for. Like, you're nice, you're sweet. We having conversations, we doing all this stuff, and you giving me the D now? Like, yeah, like I'm happy. I'm happy. So this one particular day, all his friends come over. We all hanging out or whatever. It's a Saturday, and he ended up like saying to me, he was like, he texted me or whatever. I think he texted me because we was all downstairs drinking and stuff. And he was like, let's go upstairs or whatever. I was like, cool. Go upstairs, and, you know, we starting to do the do or whatever. And I'm going to tell y'all this. I did not know that Rodney was nasty like this. Like, I knew that he was a freak or whatever because of certain things he would say, but he never, ever made me think like he was this type of nasty, right? So we in there, we're doing what we're doing, not trying to give too much information, but like he's on top of me, okay? So I turned okay, I'm sorry. So he's laying on top of me, and I had turned my head this way. And when I went to turn back this way, I had just basically turned the whole way. But on my way turning this way, why did spit fall right here?
Oh, hell no!
I said, you know what? What was you trying to do? He was like, I was trying to spit in your mouth. And then you a bold nigga? You bold? Bold enough to say it to my face what you was trying to do? Did you ask me? Did I want to do that? Did you ask me? Was I interested in that? Did I look thirsty to you?
What?
Did I look thirsty to you? What made you think that I wanted you to spit in my damn mouth? What made you think that? What made you think that? What did I do to give off that type of vibe? What did I do to give off that type of vibe? I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. So I was like, okay, you gotta get up. Like, now I'm not even interested in finishing this at all, because that's nasty. That is nasty. I mean, I understand, like, you 24 years old, so you probably already did this but there's plenty of mouths you probably spit in. You probably spent plenty of mouth. This mouth ain't getting spit in, sir. You're not spitting in my mouth. You're not doing it. So I was like, you know, go ahead and get up, get your clothes on, go ahead and get your little friends together. Y'all go ahead, hop in the hoopty. Y'all can go. Y'all can go. And yeah, I mean, I know I don't know if y'all feel like I was overreacting about that. I'm not sure, but I do not play spit. I don't play spit. I don't care. I don't see nothing sexual about that shit at all. I don't see nothing sexual about it. Nothing at all. So for you to sit here and spit and try to spit in my mouth and then it lands on my face, motherfucker, I could have fucking threw up. I was so disgusted. I could have threw up. I was so disgusted. And you would think that I would have stopped fucking with him after that. But I didn't. He was my crush. I couldn't stop. And I don't care how much of a crush she was, though. I was gonna let you spit in my mouth. That's probably what he thought. Like, oh, she like me that bad. She gonna let me. No. No. I'm not gonna let you do that. Ever. I don't give a fuck. Ever. You'll never be able to spit in my mouth. Ever. And yeah, so my friend and my sister was like, what happened? Because they all just left abruptly. They was like, what happened? I said, yo, this nigga tried to spit in my mouth. So they just start laughing. I said, you bitches is ignorant. You're ignorant. I'm sitting here trying to tell y'all what I'm going through. And it's funny. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why all this stuff happens to me. I have more story times of bullshit that happens to me. And, I mean, maybe all this stuff happened to me because the Lord knew that I was going to end up doing YouTube and needing to tell story times or whatever. Because the stories that I have, y'all would think that I'm lying. Like, that's what I'm saying. You would think that I'm lying. No, he spit. He had to spit in my mouth. Like, if he had timed it a little better, he would have caught my shit. I would have been pissed. If that shit had got on my lips or anything up in here, I would have decked him. I've been hot. He's lucky that he missed. That's the end of this story time about the time my childhood crush tried to spit in my mouth. Yep, this is the end of that story. However, make sure that y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.
Come subscribe, it's a vibe, ayy. Come subscribe it all the time, it's a vibe, ayy.